fought the rest, now try the best!
I was going to save this topic and talk about it after the story DLC released because I feel like in that we'll get a lot of answers. But seeing as how the story DLC was delayed from summer to autumn, now I just feel like I have to talk about this and put my ideas out there. The topic of this video is Jin's devil marking that's on his arm. He got this mark in the intro of Tekken 3 when some ghost demon spirit caught him lacking in the forest, and then boom, the mark of the devil. And now we never got any confirmation as to who this demon spirit is. Why did it target Jin? Why did it mark Jin? Did it mark any other people? Because the point that I want to make is that Unknown, even though that character is uncanonical, she also has the same marking on her arm as well. So why do these two Kazama characters have Devil Gene markings? There's some people who say that this is like the Devil Gene maybe trying to limit them. Whenever a Kazama rises up and basically becomes a threat, boom, you get a marking and you get nerfed. Maybe, I don't know, but let's continue. This marking also appeared in Tekken 8, of course at the start, but players were very surprised to see it at the end. And the way that Jin Kazama is standing, it's almost as if the game wants you to see that it's still there. No characters acknowledges, not even Jin, but he still has the marking, which technically should mean that the Devil Gene still exists and it's not completely gone. When you talk about the original source of the Devil Gene, because this is the Devil Gene marking, so what is the source of the Devil Gene? The source is Azazel. Azazel, according to the bio, is a demon that ruled over heavens and earths thousands of years ago. Basically, during the Egyptian times in Tekken lore, Azazel was the one who was ruling things. That's why the pyramids are based off of him. That's why all of these different ancient statues that they show us from time to time in Tekken are celebrating him. They all have Devil Gene markings or some kind of connection to him. It also says that he is the progenitor of the Devil Gene. It basically means he created it. It comes from him. The interesting thing about this is in Tekken 6, Jin Kazama eventually learned of Azazel's existence and the true source of the Devil Gene. He wanted to do the ritual, summon Azazel so he can completely destroy it. Now, Zafina was very against this, very against awakening a, past god, a past demon, just for the hopes of slaying it. She was very against it, and Wang convinced her to let Jin do it. And the way that you go about resurrecting Azazel is you basically got to create chaos. So Jin Kazama did that. He did World War III in Tekken 6 and eventually Azazel was resurrected. But before Azazel was able to do anything, Jin Kazama was there and he basically tried to kill him. Now, it did not work. Jin Kazama was not able to kill him. We found out later in Zafina's Tekken 8 bio that it said that, where is it? I want to read it specifically. Jin is able to defeat Azazel by the skin of his teeth, but Azazel's spirit is indestructible and survives. Now it's a matter of time before Azazel is resurrected once again. This is kind of a weird plot hole. If Zafina knows that Azazel's spirit is indestructible, why wouldn't she tell Jin that the way he's going about trying to destroy it would not work? They had this whole conversation before Jin even faced Azazel, and this key information was forgotten. If you think about it, when Azazel was defeated way back in ancient times, they didn't kill him. They put his spirit under a pyramid so it can never be discovered ever again. Also, after Jin weakened and almost killed Azazel, quote unquote, Zafina didn't go around and eliminate Azazel like she did in Tekken 8 or Claudio did in Tekken 8. She once again trapped the spirit. The point that I'm making is Tekken has showed us time and time again that Azazel cannot be destroyed. And the way that everyone has tackled it in the past is simply by trapping him either in a temple, in a ball, in an arm, in something, and just hope he doesn't break free. Now, over the events of Tekken 8, Kazuya takes Azazel from Zafina and then he goes on to be more powerful. If you skip all the way to the ending of the story, here's where the devil marking comes back into play. Jin, using his angel form, fighting against Kazuya's true devil form, They're both clashing and colliding with one another, and Jin uses the power, the light that he got from Jin, to purify both of their devil genes. Purify it, it's gone. Kazuya says, even though I lost my devil gene, I'm not going to stop. You're going to have to kill me. So they continue fighting. Now in Jin Kazama's ending, he defeats Kazuya Mishima, and then he goes on to talk about his mother and how grateful he is. And then once again, it's showing the devil marking. So if Azazel is truly destroyed, as it says in his bio, as it says within Tekken 8, why does Jin still have the devil gene marking? Now, I was going to leave this video open-ended because I really didn't have a true answer for why the devil gene still exists after Jin destroys it. But while I was editing this video, I think I discovered the route that the developers will go. One idea of mine is that Reina also just has the devil gene too. Like, I think it's very obvious throughout Tekken 8 she is trying to figure out how to unlock it. What I noticed while I was editing this video is Reina's response to the first time seeing Azazel ever. Lars says Kazuya was looking to resurrect Azazel this whole time. It cuts over to Reina, and this is like in parentheses, so it means she's thinking this and not saying it. She says, well, so that's the original devil, huh? This is going to be fun. So this more so just alludes to her, one, knowing full well what the devil gene is. Heihachi probably told her all about it, but then two, it makes more sense that she is trying to unlock her own devil gene the whole time. And one thing is that even if Jin and Kazuya still loses their devil gene at the end, it still exists within her. So Azazel would still be alive, and then one, Jin would have the tattoo. But then another thing, let's say if that theory is wrong. What I also noticed too is when Jun Kazama is explaining to Jin how the Kazama power kind of works, I think it opens up a little bit of wiggle room. Jun Kazama says, your life is well worth protecting. Don't forget it. She then gives him the flower, which is in turn the light that he uses to basically take down Kazuya. As the Kazama power starts to glow, Jun Kazama says this: Kazama's powers foster life and cleanses evil. At the same time, the Kazama power enhances Jin and makes him Angel Gene. So it's looking at the devil gene within inside of his body, and it's upgrading it. Now, this may be the reason why Jin still has the devil gene and also this Kazama power, is because the Kazama is, like it said, it cleanses evil. And in this moment, Jin is not actually evil. Whether or not you want to say the devil gene inside of him is evil, that's a fair case. But I think a way that the developers could go is saying that at this point in time, Jin is not evil. So the light that Jun Kazama gives him would not cleanse him. It would only cleanse Kazuya. So that's another reason why he would have the tattoo and Jin and Kazuya wouldn't. One thing that I also want to bring up, and this is something that a lot of people has been sending me, telling me about, if you go back to Tekken 6 and you look at Devil Jin's non-canonical Devil Jin ending, in Tekken 6 there's a lot of these, right? Many characters face Azazel and there's many different outcomes. Some characters die, which is not canonical. Some characters is enhanced by the power, like Yoshimitsu, but then in Devil Jin's situation, Azazel takes his power. In this instant, he loses the tattoo, meaning that one, the tattoo can go away, and two, Jin can be fully drained of his power. And I think this Tekken 6 ending kind of emphasizes what Jun Kazama was saying and what happened in Tekken 8. Jin is good in nature, right? And he's using the devil gene for good. Even though he did wrong, he's using it for good. And Azazel will detect that in this and took the power back. He says, you're not using my power how I want you to use it. I'm going to take it back. And I think both of these two in combination with one another tells the story that the developers is going down. He is good, so he still has it. The Kazama power made him stronger, but if Azazel was to get his hands on him, like in Tekken 6, it would take the power completely. There's another part to this as well, and this is the third thing, right? In the story of Tekken 8, they introduced these weird crystal plants. You can also say that maybe Azazel lived through those things, and I don't know if the characters would have to travel all around the world world and destroy those individual plants. I mean, they're throwing out a lot of new stuff at us, and any of these three situations can be true. But I think just looking at Tekken 6 and Tekken 8, what they did with Jin is probably the route that they're going to go. All of these other things may be true as well, but that one will probably be the unifying factor. That's just my opinion. I just want to talk about this because the story DLC was delayed and our answers to this whole thing will be pushed back months from now.